What if the simple act of walking, something we've always been told is the golden key to health, could secretly unravel the well-being of those we hold dear? Picture this: a crisp morning, the sun just peeking over the horizon, and an older adult laces up their shoes, ready to embrace the day with a brisk stroll. For many, it's a lifeline, a way to keep the body strong and the mind sharp. But for some, this everyday ritual could be a quiet saboteur, worsening hidden conditions, inviting injury, or even straining a fragile heart to the breaking point. The truth is jarring. Not every senior thrives on the same level of activity, and for certain individuals, too many steps can tip the scales from vitality to vulnerability. Today, we're peeling back the layers of this paradox. Doctors are sounding the alarm, not to scare us, but to save us, warning that excessive walking can pose serious risks for specific groups of older adults. In this journey, we'll uncover 5 distinct categories of seniors who must tread carefully, from those battling creaky joints to others guarding fragile hearts. Each story we share will illuminate why moderation isn't just a suggestion, it's a necessity, and how recognizing these risks could be the difference between thriving and a devastating setback. Stick with us until the end, because you'll not only learn how to spot these red flags in yourself or someone you love, but also discover practical steps to stay active safely. The right adjustments could rewrite the future, preserving health and independence for years to come. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1, those prone to severe blood pressure fluctuations. Imagine starting your day with a walk, the air cool against your skin, only to feel the world tilt beneath your feet as your vision blurs and your legs buckle. For many older adults, keeping blood pressure steady is a daily balancing act, one that walking can dangerously disrupt. Doctors highlight that for those prone to severe fluctuations, whether sudden plummets or sharp spikes, too much movement can unleash a cascade of peril. Conditions like orthostatic hypotension, where standing or walking triggers a rapid drop in blood pressure, can transform a peaceful stroll into a dizzying ordeal, complete with lightheadedness or even a blackout. On the flip side, uncontrolled hypertension turns exertion into a ticking time bomb, heightening the risk of strokes or heart complications. The danger sneaks up silently. You might feel perfectly fine as you step out the door, the rhythm of your stride steady and sure. But just minutes later, a wave of weakness washes over you. Blurry vision, a pounding head, or the sensation that the ground is slipping away. If you're alone on a quiet street or navigating a busy sidewalk, a fall could mean more than a bruised ego. Head injuries, broken bones, or worse loom as real threats. What's more alarming? Many don't even know their body struggles to regulate blood pressure until disaster strikes. Take Eleanor, an 82-year-old with a spirit as vibrant as her garden. She'd always been active, her morning walks a cherished ritual, but she'd also brushed off those fleeting, dizzy spells when rising from her armchair, chalking them up to just getting old. One bright Tuesday, she set out as usual, the neighborhood alive with birdsong. 10 minutes in, the world dimmed. Her vision darkened, her knees wobbled, and she crumpled to the pavement. When she came to, pain throbbed in her wrist, now fractured from the fall. At the hospital, her doctor delivered a sobering revelation. Her body couldn't stabilize blood pressure during movement. Excessive walking had pushed her system too far. With a new plan, shorter walks, a sturdy cane, and a water bottle always in hand, Eleanor reclaimed her routine, this time with safety as her guide. Her story isn't rare. If you or someone close to you feels dizziness, sudden fatigue, or a strange heaviness during walks, don't dismiss it. Hydration, support like a walking stick, and regular blood pressure checks can be lifelines. For some, gentler alternatives, seated leg lifts, stretching, or balances drills, offer the benefits of movement without the risks. Knowing when to pause could be the shield that keeps you standing tall. Number 2, people with chronic heart conditions. The heart is a marvel, pumping life through every vein, and for many seniors, walking is its faithful ally until it isn't. For those with chronic heart conditions like heart failure, arrhythmias, or unstable angina, the line between healthy exertion and hazardous strain is razor thin. Every step demands more from an already weary heart, And for these individuals, pushing too far can spark dizziness, breathlessness, or even a sudden cardiac crisis. Doctors emphasize that while staying active strengthens most hearts, for some, it's like asking a flickering candle to weather a storm. The unpredictability is what chills the spine. A walk might begin with the joy of a steady pace, the crunch of leaves underfoot, only to unravel into chest pain or a racing pulse that won't settle. Too often, people mistake these signals for mere tiredness, urging themselves to power through. But for a heart already stretched thin, ignoring the warning bells can court catastrophe, heart attacks, strokes, or a collapse far from help. Consider Edward, 79, a man whose mild heart disease had shadowed him for years. His morning walks were his sanctuary, a quiet hour to greet the dawn. But lately, even brief outings left him winded, his chest tight with an ache he couldn't shake. Instead of heeding the signs, he doubled down, convinced more steps would rebuild his stamina. One humid morning, the tightness gripped harder, dizziness swept in, and he stumbled, clutching a lamppost as a passerby called for help. Rushed to the hospital, he learned his heart couldn't keep up, pumping inefficiently under the strain. His doctor crafted a new path, short, supervised walks paired with gentle strength exercises. Slowly, Edward's energy returned, his heart safer within its limits. If your heart whispers warnings, shortness of breath, chest discomfort, or exhaustion that lingers, listen. A tailored plan, guided by a doctor, can weave movement into your life without overloading your most vital muscle. For Edward and countless others, it's not about surrendering activity, but embracing it wisely. Number 3, those recovering from recent surgery or injury. Healing is a quiet art, a delicate dance of rest and motion. And for seniors, fresh from surgery or injury, walking too soon can fracture that balance. Whether it's a new hip, a mended knee, or a patched-up fracture, the body craves time to knit itself back together. Doctors stress that while mobility aids recovery, overdoing it risks swelling, re-injury, or a painful rewind of progress. Every step leans on muscles, joints, and bones still tender from trauma, and rushing the process can unravel weeks of healing. The trap lies in underestimating the toll. A few steps around the house might feel triumphant, but stretching that into a long walk can strain fragile tissues beyond repair. Take Margaret, 75, whose knee replacement promised a return to her bustling life. Her surgeon urged patience, short, careful steps to start. But Margaret, a woman who'd never sat still, bristled at lazy. Days after surgery, she pushed herself, limping through her garden, convinced pain was just progress. Soon her knees swelled, sharp stabs replacing her hope. A checkup revealed strained tissues, setting her back weeks. Only when she embraced a gradual plan, tiny walks building to steady strides, did her strength bloom anew. Recovery isn't a race, it's a rhythm. If pain, fatigue, or puffiness shadows your steps, pause. Follow the experts, your doctor or therapist, and let healing lead. Margaret's lesson is clear. Time, not haste, rebuilds what's broken. Number 4, seniors with severe peripheral neuropathy. Imagine walking through life on a tightrope, unable to feel the wire beneath your feet. For seniors with severe peripheral neuropathy, a condition that frays the nerves in the legs and feet, this isn't a metaphor, it's a daily reality. What begins as a tingling whisper can grow into numbness, weakness, or searing pain, turning a simple stroll into a high-stakes gamble. Doctors warn that for these individuals, excessive walking doesn't just challenge balance. It courts falls, injuries, and a cascade of complications that could steal mobility altogether. The danger hides in what's unfelt. Nerves meant to signal pain or pressure falter, leaving sores, twists, or blisters unnoticed until they fester. A step too far might split skin or sprain a joint, yet the walker presses on, oblivious until the damage demands attention, sometimes too late. For those with diabetes feeling their neuropathy, the stakes climb higher. Infections, ulcers, or even amputation loom as shadows on the path. Frank, 78, knew this risk too late. A diabetic for decades, he'd relished his neighborhood walks, the rhythm of his steps a steady comfort. But as neuropathy crept in, his feet grew numb, a quiet betrayal he barely noticed. One summer day, he stretched his usual route, savoring the breeze. Hours later, peeling off his socks, he found a deep, angry blister, unfelt and worsened by every step. Infection set in, chaining him to weeks of treatment. His doctor's orders were firm: shorter walks, supportive shoes, daily foot check. With care, Frank adapted, balancing activity with vigilance, his independence preserved. If neuropathy shadows you or someone you love, precaution is power. Sturdy shoes, flat paths, and balance exercises can steady the way, while regular checkups catch trouble early. For some, swapping long walks for swimming or seated workouts keeps the body strong without tempting fate. Frank's story whispers a truth: awareness turns risk into resilience. Number 5. Seniors with severe arthritis. Joints tell stories of years danced, burdens carried, lives lived. But for seniors with severe arthritis, osteoarthritis grinding cartilage to dust, or rheumatoid inflammation flaring wild, those stories turn to groans with every step. Walking, often hailed as a cure-all, can instead deepen the ache, swelling knees, hips, or ankles into stiff, throbbing rebels. Doctors caution that for these individuals, excessive movement doesn't soothe. It erodes, accelerating damage and dimming the light of daily ease. The misconception stings deepest. Push through the pain, they say, it'll get better. But when cartilage is a memory and joints scream, more steps mean more friction. Bone scraping bone, inflammation flaring like a wildfire. What starts as stiffness after a walk can harden into agony that shadows every move. Standing, bending, rising from bed. The cost isn't just discomfort, it's the slow theft of freedom. Robert, 81, learned this the hard way. A man of action, decades hiking trails and chasing grandkids, he refused to let arthritis dim his stride. His daily walks were defiance, even as his knees swelled and locked after each outing. Just stiffness, he told himself, pushing harder. But the pain sharpened, stairs became mountains, and standing felt like betrayal. His doctor laid it bare. Overwalking was shredding what little joint cushion remained. Switching to swimming and cycling, Robert found relief. Less pain, more motion. A spark rekindled. His energy lifted, a testament to moving smart, not hard. If arthritis grips you or a loved one, listen close. Swap punishing walks for gentle flows. Swimming, chair stretches, light yoga. Watch for swelling or pain that lingers. They're not badges of honor, but calls to pivot. Robert's shift proves it. The right rhythm keeps you dancing through life, not limping. Final thoughts. A step toward wisdom. As the sun sets on this exploration, pause and reflect. Walking, a lifeline for so many, isn't a universal balm. For these 5 groups, those with unstable blood pressure, fragile hearts, healing wounds, numb nerves, or battered joints, too many steps can unravel health rather than weave it stronger. The stories of Eleanor, Edward, Margaret, Frank, and Robert aren't just cautionary tales, they're lanterns lighting a safer path. Recognizing these risks isn't about fear. It's about empowerment, a chance to protect what matters most. Which of these shadows crossed your life? Maybe it's a dizzy spell you shrugged off, a tightness you ignored, or a joint that protests louder each day. Share it below. Your voice might steady someone else teetering on the edge. Protecting health past 70 isn't just about motion, it's about moving wisely. Shorten a walk, trade pavement for a pool, grip a cane when the ground feels unsure. Small shifts that guard independence and promise brighter tomorrows. Thank you for walking this journey with us. What struck you deepest? How will you weave this wisdom into your days? Drop a line below. Your thoughts fuel us to keep illuminating these truths. If this stirred you, like, subscribe, share. It's how we grow together. Here's to health, not just today, but for all the steps ahead. See you in the next story.